speaking of dark things in your life, I heard you've had some. Want to take it from here?
I've had what?
Some dark things in your life?
Dark things in my life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know how to bring it up. It's a comedy podcast, but I also respect her stories, so I wanted to bring it up in a comedic way, but also give her a chance to talk.
Okay, I'm back. I felt like an audience member. It was nice.
It was nice because we didn't have to hear you, and it was just like you're here. And like Jared was like, she's just a pretty face for the podcast anyway, and she has no real thoughts behind it.
Like
and I disagreed. I was like, this girl is so good at this.
Adamant against it.
Wait, Jared, how do I bring this up lightly? Because you told me something. Were you kidnapped?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, can we talk about that?
We can talk about that.
I didn't know how to bring it.
I mean, how do you bring that up?
Yeah,
You're like, hey, nice to meet you. By the way, were you kidnapped as a child?
But I didn't want to like lean into it like, oh my gosh, do you want kids one day? And do you like taking naps? Do you also like conjunctions?
Also, there's another thing that like reminds me of that.
Yeah. Speaking of kids and taking naps, what's another meaning for that? Oh,
Are you
anyway.
serious?
Yeah.
Well, we're about to hear about it, hopefully. Yeah, maybe.
I mean,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, also like everything I say about it, I went through therapy. I'm over it. Like it's fine.
Well,
like,
if
you can make jokes about it. It's okay.
Oh, we
like,
will.
Good.
Unless it's like
Yeah.
really sad because I don't know about it. I feel bad. If this is really terrible, I'm going to feel really bad. But go ahead.
Okay. This is the second time I talk about this on the internet. So you guys,
my gosh. When was the first time?
Anthony Padilla.
Oh, let's just
Yeah.
cut to his. and we come back. I'm sure he did a much better job. He probably is more. He was probably way more subtle. Like, hey,
So actually, we had a conversation before. So he always calls everyone he has on the show beforehand to make sure they're comfortable with everything they're talking about, and also he knows what they're talking about. And the first time I talked to him about it, I talked to him like about everything, and then I messaged him and was like, "Actually, you know what? I think I want to keep it lightly."
okay.
And then we just like touched on the topic.
Sorry for trauma dumping on you.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
But the thing is, we're friends. Like Anthony and I are friends, so it's not like I just talked to a stranger about my entire
Gotcha.
life.
And we're more like strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Jared-
she's going to keep it light with us.
I
No
wouldn't say we're
offender.
strangers. We have each other on Be Real.
True.
Yes, we do.
And it's been great.
Well, feel free to not talk about it or go as deep
No,
as
it's
you want.
okay.
Whatever you're comfortable with. But also, I mean, how do I get into this? I want to
You
hear
could
it.
just let her
I was
talk.
gonna say I'm excited.
Just okay.
What? No.
no, but I like.
Wrong. No, shut up. Let her talk.
Okay. So this is how do I start this? How do you start talking?
It was a
about
dark
it?
and stormy night.
It all started when I was kidnapped by my mom's ex-husband, who I thought was my father, for 3 years to Spain. And we originally lived in Germany, and he took us to Spain. So that's kind of the story there.
That's how you
So
know
you're-
Spanish.
I do know Spanish.
But that's how she knows.
yeah, that's how I know
because you were
Spanish.
kidnapped.
Yeah,
For 3
for
years?
3 years.
Because the last time we talked, I was like,
But she's a bilingual baddie.
Trilingual.
Is that what-
Trilingual.
trilingual.
Trilingual baddie.
You missed it. She was speaking in German to us,
Yeah.
Oh.
saying a bunch of slurs.
I'm glad I wasn't here.
I have no idea what she said.
That would have triggered me. My ex-boyfriend's German.
Oh yeah, I remember. I'm so sorry.
9.
But the last time we talked, because you're like, oh, I speak 3 languages. Oh, and then I was like, oh, what language? Like Spanish. I was like, oh, that's so cool. How'd you learn that? Like, I lived in Spain. You didn't say, oh yeah, I was
Kidnapped. I was abducted.
I had a small abduction and I was there against my will. But please proceed.
mean, how
Were
do you-
chains involved? I'll let you get there.
Oh god. Yeah, actually,
What?
I was locked in my room a lot, like just for days without anything. I don't want to get too much into it, but it was quite abusive.
Oh man, I feel so bad.
It's okay, don't worry. Like I said, it's fine.
I know, but just the way I let it up, I thought it was more of a wholesome kidnapping.
How in the hell would it be a wholesome kidnapping?
Like a classic candy situation, you know?
like, hey
Yeah.
guys, I got some Kit Kats in my van.
Yeah, I didn't know abuse would be involved. Okay, so
Well,
How old were you?
wait, hold on.
I was between the ages of 6 and 9,
Oh wow, so
I-
young.
Can I ask how you maybe passed time in the room?
just staring at walls.
You didn't have really anything to do?
No, not really. I had it was my bedroom, so I had like things in my bedroom, like my bed and my stuffed toys. So
Were you
play
able
with them.
allowed to leave the house?
I had we went to school.
Oh, you went to school?
Yeah, I went to school. And I had some friends at school, And at that point, I also didn't realize the severity of the situation because I was a child.
Yeah, you were like, this is just normal life.
Yeah, exactly. And because of that, I think that we were allowed to go out. We were allowed to meet our friends. We were allowed to see the beach and everything.
Well, that makes up for the kidnapping, right?
Yeah, exactly. I saw the beach.
I saw a
guys.
seagull.
Yeah.
We're good.
It was fine.
Got taken away from my mother. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Yeah, it like there were tough days and tough weeks and tough months, and I only quite realized that after everything happened and once I grew up. I also forgot a lot of it. I
That makes sense.
Yeah, like trauma makes you forget a lot.
Was this out of spite for your mother? Like, why did he take you? Okay.
Yeah, so when my mom divorced him, he looked her in the eyes and he said, "You never break up with me." And then, like, he said his last name. He was like, "You never break up with her," and his last name. And then what happened is, because he still had custody over me and my brother, he took us to Spain. And we were supposed to come back, but my mom didn't know where exactly in Spain. He just moved to Spain, and we went there for a vacation.
Your brother was with you?
Yeah, my brother was with me. My brother is 2 years younger, but my brother is his actual son.
So he was half kidnapped? No.
Well, you can still be kidnapped.
Yeah,
Okay.
And
By a parent, depending on who holds custody.
Most kidnaps are by
parents.
By
Okay,
some
so
form
go
of
on. I'm
family
sorry.
member.
Yeah.
So you two, were you guys in the same room?
No, my brother. So the whole thing was, he also at that point didn't know I wasn't his daughter. So technically, I wasn't like his daughter. And the whole thing was, he never wanted a girl. He always wanted to have a boy. And he said some like fucked up shit when he found out I was a girl. But because of that, I had it a lot harder. But my brother had to see it, which means my brother also like, he had to
he's
see it.
traumatized.
Like, yeah, exactly. So yeah, he took us there, and we were supposed to come back after like 2 weeks. And my mom told me the story of her standing at the airport with like plushies and balloons, and her kids just never showed up.
Oh, did he say they were coming at that time? And
yeah, we had a flight book and everything. Like, she showed me the receipts of the flight and everything.
Okay, so your mother doesn't receive her kids. What is her thought process after that? Is she just completely freaking out?
Also, I might want to add, at any point you don't want to continue talking about.
Yes, you're right.
Of course. I mean, I'm happy to like touch on it like a surface level.
But just like, if you want to stop at any point.
Oh yeah, please let us. I'm sorry. I should have asked that.
No,
before.
it's okay. Don't worry. I appreciate it. So yeah, she tried to find us, and I saw her over those 3 years. I saw her 3 times. Twice, she tried to get us. She got beaten, and she couldn't get us. She ended up in the hospital. And then the 3rd time, she woke me and my brother up in the middle of the night. So she had, at that point, she was engaged to another man, and that man, he was like quite a big man, like and both of them woke us up in the middle of the night, because we moved in Spain a lot as well. So what I'm thinking is, every time my mom found out where we were, we moved.
Wow.
And she wakes up in the middle of the night. I had no idea what was going on. She took me out of bed of my brother. She put us in the car, drove to the airport, to Austria. And I saw him twice after that. He showed up in my school.
Is that how you ended up getting out?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's when we got out of Spain.
How did they track you down that time?
I don't know. I mean, the man that my mom married, he was quite a big deal in like the small city that we're in. Like,
gotcha.
They were like articles about them getting married and stuff.
So he's a good man.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
He was a good man back then.
Okay.
Yeah, because he got us out of there. But yeah, that our dad showed up twice after that. He showed up at my school, and after that we had to like kind of go under, and like we traveled a lot. We went to different hotels. We went to the court a lot, because my mom tried to get like sole custody, because he still had custody.
Oh wow.
And then for like half a year we like traveled around,
just avoiding him,
going to all those like
when he showed up
courts.
at the school. Was your mother wasn't there?
No.
And then what? You obviously recognized immediately. What is your thought process?
I started panicking. I had no idea what was going on, because it was like between classes, and we were waiting for our teachers. And he just shows up at our school, and he handed me like a letter or something. I don't think I even read it.
And you were 9 at this point or no?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was like 9. Yeah, 9, 10.
Gotcha.
He hands me this letter, and I immediately called my mom. Like all of my classmates realized how like horrified I was, and they were like getting the teacher, and the teacher then threw him out and everything. I called my mom. She picks me up she gets someone to pick me up from school. We go to like some parking lot, change into a different car, and drove away.
Wow.
And like out of Austria. And after that, we like
freaking movie.
I know. Like thinking about it, I'm like, oh my god, I could write a book about this.
You actually should. It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so so you get out, you go to Austria. How far is that from where was
So
your
we
mother
were-
at this point?
My
and your mother.
My mom was at work. So
No,
it was
I'm sorry.
like-
Where did she take you?
Oh,
Like
she
after
took
from
us-
Spain, then she took you.
us to Sweden.
So that's where you
so
lived, where your
we-
dad showed up.
No,
No,
she's in
no, no,
Austria.
No, I lived in
Austria.
Austria.
Austria,
I lived in
okay.
Austria,
and then
Sweden.
from Austria to
then went to Sweden. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what happened is we went into because that man my mom married, he was he owned like a truck company, you know, like how they like deliver like different things like
Yeah.
everywhere. And we went into one of those trucks, and I remember going through the border, and we had to hide in like upstairs.
No
they had like a
way.
bed, and we had to hide in that bed. Yeah, and then we went over the border to Sweden, like on a fair to Sweden, and then stayed in Sweden for a bit. And then we had to go to Spain eventually to go to all the courts. And after half a year, we finally got like the letter of like he has a restraining order. He's not allowed to see us. He doesn't have custody and all these things.
Did he ever show up again after that?
He never showed. Oh, well, he did show up, but I didn't see him, and my brother didn't see him either. My mom saw him, and she took us away. He's been trying because my brother has his full name online on Twitter. Like he put his full name there, and he tried
you would have
to.
learned.
I know, right? He tried to contact him through that and like message him. Was like, "Oh, I'm your father. Do you want to see me?" And my brother luckily didn't see it because he made Twitter and then forgot his password.
Oh, thank goodness.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was like the last time.
And that was when you were 10 years old, was it?
Yeah, when I was 10 years old, like we finally got the letter.
Do you think he has, I mean, you've kind of made a name for yourself on the internet. Do you think he's ever
I don't
figured
know.
it out?
I'm guessing so. I'm guessing if he wanted to, he would have found out, but he again is not allowed to go near us. He did some really shady business in Switzerland, so he's not allowed to go to Switzerland.
Oh, that's
he's
good.
literally not allowed to go into the country.
That's helpful.
God, what do you have to do?
I know, right?
Yeah, I feel like you need to come to LA just to have like a body of water between you.
Seriously.
Are you still close with your mother?
We're closer now than we've ever been.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine the things that she's gone through.
I know. Yeah. My mom had a really tough life as well. She's adopted. She had to go through like a bunch of hardships in her life. So I sympathize with her a lot
What where was your mindset at after all of that? And how long did it take to unwind all the ravelings of kind of abuse and being in that state? And, you know, how did you kind of overcome all that? Because you said you're in a healthy place with it now.
Lots of therapy.
Yeah.
I went through lots and lots of therapy. And also I had a really good support system growing up. I had a lot of friends online more than anything.
Like, did you struggle with like all of it afterwards?
I definitely did.
Yeah.
I had a really rough like teenage years.
Because of that situation?
I think so. And also like the normal teenage
Yeah, of
angst,
course,
like
yeah.
just everything playing into it. But I think it taught me a lot. I think the way I grew up and everything that happened in my life taught me a lot. And I think I can take more positive things out of it than anything. Because I've had so many experiences in my life. And with that, I feel like I can understand other people a lot better than other people would.
Well, before I ask this question, is your brother okay? I just want to ask that.
My brother's fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
Did he struggle with it
also-
as much?
Yeah, he also had like a tough time growing up, but he's 18 now. He's slowly finding his own place in the world.
What does he think of you kind of becoming this public figure?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I moved out at 17,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't seen him much since, and I know he misses me a lot. Are you crying?
No, I'm okay.
She's got tears in her eyes. She's stuffing.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, I'm good. Okay.
Can you imagine? I just start getting really emotional.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. I don't
Or
wanna
even
cry.
though, but the way she said no, I'm okay. It was like, no, I'm cool. This story sucks.
Sorry, no.
It was a little too nonchalant.
Call me when you get kidnapped twice.
No, I was just really focusing on the story genuinely, and then I think I'm getting an eye infection. So,
hell yeah.
Well, I hope you
Gross.
get well.
thank you. Keep going.
So sweet.
I know she's an angel.
She's talking
literal
about
angel.
being abused and like
And
kidnapped.
and
she
she's
goes,
like, "Oh, your
she goes,
eye
I think I got an eyelash in my eye. She's like, oh my gosh, stop the podcast. Let's make sure Indiana's okay.
No, I said I think I have an eye infection.
I know, but